What's going on, everybody? This is James. So today we're going to be reviewing the market update for Fresno, California, and it's currently we're in June, but we're looking at last month data and to give you an idea of what's happening in the marketplace currently right now. We have to look at sale versus sold versus pending. Okay. This is going to be pretty important because if you can see this graph, we're looking in the Fresno County. This graph shows that, which is this line right here, how many property are being listed and how many properties are going on the market. And this dark green is how many properties are being sold, right? So you can see the differences for last month, and I can imagine that this month, which is June, once June, so currently right now we're June 16, I can imagine the June data is going to be pretty much worse than the May data, okay? If you look at within the last couple of years, right, what you do notice is that there was more home that was sold, so the green bar is higher than the for sale bar, okay, which is homes sold versus how many home that was listed. And you can see that there was more all the way up till all the way up to pretty much since the beginning of raising rates, which is March, April, okay? But we are seeing as demand decrease, right? What we're seeing here is a supply and demand decrease. As supply increase, which is homes that are for sale, and demand decrease, right? What we're probably seeing is a market pullback, okay, in the real estate market. So they ask how much would real estate pull back, right? Again, this market remind me of the 2018 market, where when the stock market pulled back 20% or even 10%, real estate normally pull back half of that. Is it going to be the next Great Depression since 2008? I don't think so. This is more of like a healthy 20 to probably a healthy 10% to 15% pullback in the real estate market from all-time high. So, and real estate, the thing with real estate is that it's not like it's a stock market where it pulls back pretty aggressively and pretty hard quickly. It's slowly pulling back, but the thing is that there is a tail lagging indicator, okay? So there's a couple of good news and a couple of bad news. The good news is that, like, if you own a home already, right, and you refinance your home already, your rates, your rates are still pretty low. And your monthly payment is pretty low. But if you're looking to buy a new home, I would advise, if you haven't locked in your rates, I would advise to try to lock in your rates as quickly as you can. Also, number two, if you're looking to buy a home, I would advise to get multiple lenders quote. I would get trying to get the best loan possible. Maybe look into an ARM, right? An adjustable rate mortgage instead of doing a traditional Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac loan. I would look into doing an ARM, okay? Even though an ARM is, you have to hold on to the loan for a certain period of time. Ask your local lender all the fees, and also ask them about if you were to break that ARM, right? Which is if you were to break that adjustable rate mortgage, how much would they charge, right? And then do the math. If they charge a couple grand here and there, it depends on how much they charge, okay, guys? I think that's going to be the most important thing. I'm going to be talking to a couple of lenders to review how much currently right now people are charging to break, the adjustable rate mortgage loan, and if the number makes sense, then I would recommend it to the client. But anyways, so let's keep pushing down, guys. You'll see that the number that homes that are on the market has increased since the previous month, right? So month over month, it increased by 28%, right? Same month from a year ago, right, have increased by 37%. And this is pretty much current versus the same quarter. So they're looking at everything quarterly. So we're seeing that things are slowing down in the real estate market also as well. Okay, like for example, sold, pendings has been going down and sold has been going down. Okay, pending previous month has been going up since last month. So that is a good sign that people are buying homes here in the Central Valley area, which is Fresno. So it's still reasonable. It's still affordable, more than most places. So that's a good sign. So homes are being sold and it's going pending pretty quickly. All right. So as we continue to push along, we look at this data, and depending on where you guys live, all this data changes. So like for example, if you live in the 937, we can go more into detail of like the specific zip code that you're interested in. Like for example, this area zip code right here, the 92727. You can go to like specific condos, mobile homes, and all that. Okay, but for me specifically, what you can do is you can look at Clovis area and show pretty much the map, right, and see how the Clovis area is doing. All right, so Clovis area, and you can see how the Clovis area is doing. There's not a huge gap. Okay, the gap for the Clovis area, there's not a huge gap compared to the gap for the Fresno area. Okay, and also you're seeing the pending, right, numbers is also increasing. So but even though there are more for sale homes than last month, right, you're seeing there's also more sold than last month, and there's also more pending than last month. See, this is what happened when you buy properties in a good area or a decent area or a decent city, right, versus everywhere else. Is because this gap is it doesn't widen. Okay, during bad market. But you do see that the market has been changing in a certain neighborhood, and you want to be aware of that situation when buying real estate. If you're in the market, now would be a good time to kind of figure out, you'll be more competitive. You'll be able to find better deals in the neighborhood that you preferred. So I would say this: how's the market doing locally? It depends on the zip code that you're in, guys. There's certain zip code that is recommended to buy and that is in demand, and there's certain zip code that's not. But overall, like Fresno trend, what we're seeing is that, you already see it also as well, is that there's a pretty big gap between for sale and sold since for the month of May. Okay, so anyways, so that's sold. I don't want to, for me, I don't want to take too long for this video, but you can go on and check out this data yourself. You can see that average square price, average square foot sold has been going up. You can see that average day on market. So this is another thing that we look at, is the average day on market, right? So how long? So what now we're seeing the average day on market is still hovering 17 days roughly. That is average. So that's a good sign. So that means homes are still selling at a good clip. Normally in a healthy market, it's like 60 days. Okay, that was back then in 2016, 2017. In a healthy market, average day on market is about, depending on your listing price, but we should have about 2 to 3 months of inventory. But anyways, let's keep on pushing because you're seeing that average. So we're looking at sales price versus sold, right? So we're seeing that the average for sale price is in the 566, and then the average sold price, right, is in the 459,000. Okay, versus last year, the average sold price is 381. Okay, so there's a huge differences right there. So anyways, hopefully this helps. We're seeing that sales price has been increasing, and then listing price has been kind of fluctuating right there since last year. So home prices are still selling for an average of a higher than what they sold for since last year. Okay, right now we're looking at the monthly inventory. So you can see this graph, and you can see that we have about 1.4 month of inventory. And what that means is that if, for example, we don't every single real estate agents out there, they stop listing the property, what's going to happen in the market, right? What's going to happen is that it would take about 1.4 months for homes to all the homes to be done selling. So we're climbing up to like more healthy numbers, but it's not like what it was back then. Okay, like I said, a healthy kind of like real estate market on average is about 2 to 3 months of inventory, right? That's left. So anyways, guys, this is James with the Pham Real Estate Group. Hopefully this graph helps. We look at this graph every single day. We're here locally in the Fresno market, and we're just trying to give you guys a market update for the Fresno, California, sold versus pending, what's going on, and trying to articulate and trying to add value to you guys. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Anyways, this is James. Peace and love, guys.